So I got this package in the mail. Got some UCAN maintenance kits. Sent me 2 for the 2 pieces of equipment they sent me. I have no idea what these are. Oh, lift to cut. A bag full of line cutters. Nice. See some giveaways there. What is this? Ooh, Speed Feed Black Twist. Nice little black diamonds string. Nice. So I haven't used that trimmer line long enough for me to give a full opinion, but I will, and I will give my opinion. But they gave us a whole bunch to give away and kind of get the word out there more. I was talking to my dealer about it, just kind of completely random. It came up in conversation. The owner of the dealership loves it, and the guy that works at the dealership, he doesn't really see what the big deal is. Side note, the guy that doesn't see what the big deal is uses Echo equipment. The owner that thinks it's the best thing ever uses steel equipment. So I'm going to try it on both, because I've got a FS90 and then the new 2620 Echo. So I'm going to use it on both, and I'm going to see if there's any difference in how I feel about it. Even when you're out here all by yourself, you still got the birds chirping. Well, you can't knock me for trying. I think on this rainy day, I don't know, maybe it's supposed to clear up later. I'll probably be able to get some more done. Barely got anything done so far other than getting soaked. Well, I might actually finish my regular schedule today. The sun kind of came out, but it stopped raining, most importantly. So everything was still pretty wet, and I had to go really slow, but I should be able to get everything done today and not actually be behind. And it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow, worse than today. That corner lot right there. That corner lot right there is the first one I ever got in this neighborhood. And because it's on the corner, I imagine it helped sell my work, because everybody has to drive past there that doesn't live on this street right here. Everyone that doesn't live on this street has to drive down here, either that way or that way. So It's right at that fork. So everyone drives by it and they see it, and they always see it striped real nice. It's always green and beautiful. I don't take care of the fertilizing right now. She's been having one of the main local companies that's a major company, like in our state, a couple different major cities in the area they take care of, and they just knock out tons of properties. She's had them taking care of it for a long time, which keeps it looking green, but a lot of people, some people, thought I was the one fertilizing it. They just didn't see this company do it, I guess, but they always saw me mowing it and they saw it striped and it looked fantastic, so they assumed that I was making it look green and mowing it. So but that's one of the benefits of taking on a yard that's, you know, taken care of. It's just going to promote your business and you're going to get more work off of that, versus if you know, we all got to get those yards, or we've all had those yards, or currently have those yards where they're just loaded with nothing but weeds. They're always just dry and you can't really, you can barely stripe them for, you know, you can barely stripe them, not that you're even trying, but those yards just tend to breed more of those yards, and if that's all you can get and that's all that's in your area, then it is what it is. That's fine. But you know, if you have a variety of yards and you're looking for the nice tall fescue that you can stripe and just, you know, make it look picture perfect in different directions and all that stuff, then you have to attack those yards. You have to find those yards and distance yourself from those other yards so that more people with the nicer yards will see you on there and want you to take care of their yard and make it look like the yards that you're on. So anyway, short story long, I started with that one yard, went one whole season with just that one yard 4 years ago, and then every year after that I just keep getting more and more and more and more. This year I've gotten that one extra one so far. Last year I got a bunch. I don't even remember the number, but I got the most of them last year. 3 on my 3rd season. So it took 3 years of people watching me coming in and out of here every week, sometimes more than once a week depending on how crazy my schedule was, knocking that one yard out. And then I got another one and another one, and then it was like stagnant for a year or two. You know, I was putting postcards and stuff out, trying to get more in here, and then all of a sudden, boom. Last year I got the second half of what I got now, so I probably got like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 yards last year. And then I said before, I lost one this year, but I picked up one this year, so that's a wash. So I'm still back at the same number. So we'll see. The year's just starting off, really. I could potentially get more. So I just got a new quote approved for a yearly treatment program for fertilizing, weed control, and aerating and seeding in the fall. But the thing is, it really was an opportunity for me to understand how important it is to not only know your numbers, which is something that I'm a big advocate for, but also making sure that you take the time necessary to do the right thing, to actually know your numbers and to actually figure everything out properly so that you can be as profitable as you can be. You know, it took me entirely too long to give this quote. Honestly, I mean, I'm really lucky that I didn't lose the opportunity to get this quote, or have them just say, you know what, thanks, but we're going to go a different direction, or we're going to think about it or something. The one thing I had going for me was that they're already one of my clients. Granted, it's a new client, but they're already a client that I've mowed several times this season so far, and they're already impressed with how their lawn looks after me taking care of it weekly through the rain and everything. You know, I had never skipped a week, only maybe skipped one day, you know, because it was pouring rain, so I had to come the next day, but I still made it look good, took my time, everything's trimmed, edged, but they've got a ton of weeds in a lot of areas, and they just want that to be taken care of, and the grass needs definitely some fertilizing. So they weren't happy with who they had before, and they're already happy with what I've provided so far for just mowing. So they were anxious to get my quotes, you know, for the fertilizing and weed control, so that they can get it started and hopefully get the same results from that aspect of their lawn care from me. So I mean, ultimately I feel like they were already saying yes. They already wanted me to just get started. It was just more of a formality of, just give us the prices so that we know, just in case it's something astronomical, I guess. But so it almost seemed like I could have told them anything. But the point to my story is, there was many times, because I was so busy. It's just been, a lot of rain, like it has been last year, early on in the spring, and for a lot of you, it's just been running and gunning nonstop. Just mow, rain. I've been mowing in the rain, after the rain, just constantly, all over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Like, I've just been doing whatever I got to do to get it done. Unfortunately, the times that it was raining too hard for me to actually mow and work, I didn't use that time to work on this quote, as sad and embarrassing as that sounds. And part of it was because I knew it was one of my clients, so it's not like it was a brand new customer that reached out to me, through Facebook or whatever, and said, and asked me for this quote. That I would have definitely had a little more sense of urgency for. So I got a little complacent in the fact, knowing that it was my client, but I shouldn't have. I should have given the same sense of urgency. I could have potentially lost that opportunity. I could have also potentially, changed possibly the mindset, of how my client felt about me and my business and my services. And I could have possibly given a bad perception because it took me so long. And I still might have. But fortunately, she said she agreed to the quote and she wants me to get started right away, obviously. But the ultimate point to my story here is that had I not taken my time, because during the process, as I was so busy, I'm like, let me just throw some numbers out there. I know what my numbers are, and I know what I typically charge for these services for the average yard, but in the back of my head, I know that her yard is not the average yard. She's got more grass than normal, and at first glance, it doesn't seem like that, but she's got all these different sections all separated all over the place. Like these little islands of grass all along the front, and a big back and side section, and a couple other side sections along the driveway. She's got multiple driveways. She's got a big house. So there's just a lot of property all over the place, and a lot of it's grass, a lot of it's mulch beds and things like that, and trees, but there's a lot of grass. And it's more than what I normally take care of with fertilizing and weed control, and even mowing for that matter. So that's why I'm charging her more to mow, and I also should be charging her more to fertilize and put down weed control and everything. So I really had to, I had to measure it, to be honest. I could have just waited. I could have just gone online and done the whole, satellite GPS measurement like everyone else does. Bottom line is, I wanted to make sure that I had all my numbers right. I want to know exactly how much grass I needed to spray. I needed to put down fertilizer, pre-emergent, grass seed in the fall, all that stuff. Aerating, not a big deal. Putting down products, that's a big deal. So I wanted to get out there and actually measure it, but all these things were taking time, all these little steps. So I finally got out there, measured it like the last time I was out there mowing with the wheel, and just broke it all down, all the different sections, added it all up, got the square footage, and really figured out the numbers. And I'm so glad I did. Here's the the punchline. I'm so glad I did, because had I just thrown my typical numbers out there, I would have been $20. I would have been $18 per treatment less than what I am going to be charging her now. So that's $18 per treatment that I would have left on the table, because she obviously would have said yes if I threw out the if I just went and threw out the numbers that I do for my average yards, which are perfectly fine because there's less, significantly less grass than what she has. She would have said yes to that because she said yes to this, which is $18 more per treatment. So that's my point, is I could have lost a lot of money, or could have just left potentially a lot of money on the table. But I actually would have lost money, because I would have been putting down more product than I would be with the other properties that I'm used to but throwing those numbers down. You know what I'm saying? So you really got to make sure even if you're just mowing, you still want to make sure you get your numbers straight. But especially when you get into products, whether it be mulch, seed, fertilizer, spraying, weeds, if you're spraying the whole yard and you're not just spot spraying, all that stuff, you really got to know your numbers. You really got to do your measurements and know exactly what area needs to be covered, how much product you need to put down, how much that product is going to cost you, that amount of product is going to cost you, and how much per hour you want to make. How long is it going to take you to put that product down, and how much per hour do you want / need to make? And you factor all that in, you add all that up, and that's your price per treatment. So you need to know that, and I'm so glad I took the time. Even though it was too long, I'm glad I took that time and put the right numbers in, because she said yes, and which means she would have said yes if I put the lower number in without thinking and doing my due diligence, and I would have lost money in the end. So lesson learned. I'm glad I did it, but I definitely need to make sure that I get quicker at some of the. I mean, normally I'm super quick at getting these estimates, but I can't drag my feet like that again. Regardless of how busy I am, I have to keep my systems in place and following them, no matter how crazy and how busy it gets. Because it's money. So, bringing my jacket, my rain jacket. Because even though it's sunny and beautiful out, they say it's supposed to rain again this afternoon. It just poured this morning, like 5 in the morning. It was like storming everywhere. You could see the leaves all stuck to the driveway. It just like ripped the neighborhood apart with the strong winds and rain. But now now it's birds are chirping, sunny, beautiful, things are drying out. I gotta try and get as much done as I can before it's supposed to rain again sometime late this afternoon, they said. So before the end of the day, when you would want it to rain. Why can't it just rain at night every day? What, isn't that sufficient enough? And then all day it's sunny and dry and we can just get our work done. Come on, Mother Nature. Good thing I brought my rain jacket. This red armor, first impression is it's really good. I feel like it is conditioning the engine, the carb on this. It's running a lot smoother. This backpack blower, it's Echo, but I've had this for 4 years now. Got the carb cleaned and all that serviced a couple years ago. It was acting up, but since then I had used higher octane fuel and used Echo's 2-cycle mix, but using the red armor, definitely I can see an improvement. Just a minor thing too, when it gets all the way down to the tank gets down to empty, like literally it looks like there's nothing in it and it's still running. So it just gives you that little bit of extra time if you're just trying to finish up blowing instead of running back to the truck filling up or whatever. If you've got a big job or a couple of jobs all stacked together, it definitely helps out to have that little bit of extra time. So it's definitely the quality that's inside the red armor oil. So good stuff. It's definitely expensive, more expensive than the average, but you get what you pay for, and that's the whole point. It's got a detergent inside. It cleans and conditions as well as powers the engines. So again, you get what you pay for. Yes, Echo gave me a red armor oil so that I can use it and give my honest feedback to all of you. So yes, I didn't pay for it, but I know it's expensive, and when I run out of what I got for free from Echo, I will be buying that from now on, because again, to me, it's you get what you pay for. I've always been a big advocate of that, and every time I try and cheat that and get something cheaper, I always pay in the end. I end up just getting the more expensive thing ultimately anyway, but I paid more because I wasted my time with the cheaper thing, and I still got the more expensive thing. So I'm really trying to stick to learning that lesson and keeping that learned, and pay for what you really need, pay for the quality, just like this storage area. It's not the cheapest, but I'm paying for the convenience, for the convenience of, they're nice owners. They accommodate the utilities. I get garbage, I get water to fill up my tanks. I get the 6 a.m. to midnight contractor hours that I can come in and out of here versus the regular like 9 to 6 gate hours or whatever. It's close by to my house. It's in the central location of all of my accounts, all the different neighborhoods that are surrounding this area that I take care of. My dealer is right down the street. Literally, I can walk from here right there. And then there's a car wash in between. So if I really need to, hose down my equipment, spray underneath my deck and get that cleaned up, then I can do that, and it's not a big deal. Everything's close by, or if I have a breakdown, my dealer's right there, and so on. So, but I'm paying for all that convenience. This is a nicer storage area, and it's in a nice location. So I have to pay for that. So again, I feel like it's an investment in my equipment to buy the Red Armor oil so that I have less breakdowns and longer lasting equipment. So I save money in the long run without having to buy equipment sooner than I need to by just spending a little extra getting the Red Armor oil. I hope you enjoyed the video. May has been an extremely challenging month for me, as I'm sure it has been for a lot of you. I know it's been really rainy all over the country. This time last year, I was questioning a lot of things about myself, about my business, about my purpose, my goals, and so on and so forth, and my future. And it's just kind of crazy that, just this much rain can really affect your mind that way and get you really down. When you're not working, you're getting down because you feel like you're losing money, and you might be losing customers and all this other stuff, and you just start thinking of all these negative things, and it becomes a really big challenge to stay positive. So it was just a real crazy month. It wasn't nearly as rainy as last year in May, but it was raining enough. It rained multiple days every week. And it really forced me to take a good hard look at my business again and see what changes I might need to make. So in the coming weeks, I will share my discoveries and some of my plans for restructuring my business starting this season.